You built a beautiful model, it scores great on your laptop, and you feel like an absolute genius. Then you put it in production, and everything breaks immediately. Data changes overnight, users hate the interface, and performance drops fast. This is not failure, my friend, this is just reality. Model evaluation and deployment is where good projects become great, so let me show you how. Quick reminder, this is just a part of the complete course. You can get the link in the description for the complete practice questions with explanations, which will help you get your certification. I have also put a link to my Udemy practice test. It has 180 questions just like these. Section 6, Model Evaluation and Deployment, From Lab to Life. Welcome back, my friend. We finally made it to the last section together, and I am really proud of you. Phase 5 is called Model Evaluation, and Phase 6 is called Deployment, so I teach them together because they are deeply connected to each other. You cannot deploy a model successfully if you evaluate it poorly, and you cannot evaluate correctly if you ignore deployment reality. Both phases need your full attention, so let us break them down step by step. Let us start with model evaluation first because this is where most people get overconfident and make expensive mistakes. Model evaluation is not the same as validation. Please hear me clearly on this important point. Validation happened during development when you checked if your model learned anything useful from the training data. Evaluation is completely different because here you ask a much bigger question. Does this model actually solve the business problem we identified back in Phase 1, yes or no? You see, you can have a model with 95% accuracy, beautiful charts, and perfect ROC curves. But if it does not save money, make money, or save time for real people, it is completely useless. Evaluation connects your fancy math directly to your original business goals, and that connection decides if you deploy or go back to the drawing board. So, what do we actually do during model evaluation? Let me walk you through the 4 main tasks. First, we assess model performance against the business success criteria we wrote down earlier. Remember those metrics you defined in business understanding with your stakeholders. Pull out that signed document and read it carefully. Did you hit the target you promised? If you needed to save $1 million, did your model actually save it? If you needed to cut response time by 30%, did you achieve that number? If the answer is no, the model does not pass, and you cannot move forward. Second, we conduct a thorough error analysis because models are never perfect and you need to understand their weaknesses. Where does the model fail most often? Are errors random across all customers, or do they cluster around specific groups like age ranges or regions? Sometimes errors reveal hidden bias in your training data. Sometimes they reveal missing features you never considered. Always investigate deeply before you call it done. Third, we ensure interpretability and explainability, especially for regulated industries like banking, insurance, and healthcare. Can you sit in front of a regulator and explain why your model denied a loan to a specific person? If you cannot answer that question clearly, your black box model is too dangerous to deploy. Business stakeholders need to trust the model, not just admire its accuracy. Fourth, we get formal business stakeholder approval before any deployment activities begin. You prepare a clear presentation with your results, your error analysis, and your limitations. You show them the wins honestly and the failures transparently. Then you ask them directly, Is this model good enough for production? They must say yes with confidence before you write a single line of deployment code. Now let us talk about deployment, my friend, because this is where the real work begins. Deployment is not the end of your project. Please never make this mistake. Deployment is the beginning of maintenance, monitoring, and continuous improvement. Many teams think, we deploy on Friday, we celebrate on Friday night, and we move to the next project on Monday. That thinking kills AI initiatives. You deploy, you monitor, you retrain, and you repeat this cycle forever. So, what do we actually do during deployment? Let me give you the 5 essential tasks. First, we create a detailed deployment plan that answers practical questions about infrastructure and access. Will this model run in the cloud using AWS or Azure, or will it live on premises behind your corporate firewall? Will users access it through a web application, a mobile app, or an API integration? How many requests per second must the system handle? Answer these questions before you write deployment scripts. Second, we integrate the model into existing business workflows because models do not live in isolation. Your fraud model must connect to the transaction system. Your recommendation engine must talk to the e-commerce website. Your churn model must feed into the marketing automation platform. Integration is often harder than building the model itself, so plan extra time here. Third, we establish monitoring systems that watch model performance continuously in production. Data changes over time, and your model gets older every single day. Customer behavior shifts, economic conditions fluctuate, and new products launch. You need dashboards that alert you when accuracy drops below acceptable thresholds. You cannot fix what you cannot see. Fourth, we create a retraining schedule because models need fresh data to stay relevant. Will you retrain monthly, weekly, or daily? Who approves the new version before it replaces the old one? How do you validate that the new model is actually better than the current champion? These are not technical questions, they are governance questions, and you must answer them up front. Fifth, we plan for graceful failure and fallback mechanisms because models will make mistakes. What happens when your model gives a terrible recommendation or denies a legitimate customer? Do you have a human review process? Can users override the model decision? Building guardrails protects your business and your reputation. Now let me tell you a story from my own career because I learned this lesson the hard way. I deployed a pricing model for an e-commerce client, and it performed beautifully in testing. 3 days after launch, sales dropped by 20%. We panicked. We investigated. We discovered the model learned to increase prices for customers who visited multiple times. Loyal customers saw higher prices and left angry. We never tested for that behavior. We never monitored user feedback. We failed at deployment. We fixed it, but we lost trust and we lost revenue. That is why evaluation and deployment matter so much, my friend. You are not just shipping code. You are shipping decisions that affect real people. All right, enough stories. Let us test your knowledge with 5 exam-style questions. Read carefully, think like a senior project manager, and avoid the traps. 1. A model achieves 97% accuracy on the test set, but business stakeholders reject it. What is the most likely reason for this rejection? The model does not meet the business success criteria defined during phase 1. Accuracy is a technical metric, not a business metric. If the model fails to save money or improve service, stakeholders are right to reject it. 2. During model evaluation, you discover your hiring model recommends men twice as often as women. What is your immediate responsibility? Stop the deployment and investigate the source of this bias immediately. Bias in hiring models is illegal and unethical. You must trace the bias, document it, and refuse to deploy until it is fixed. 3. A model is deployed successfully, but after 2 months, predictions become less accurate. What is the most probable cause? Data drift has occurred, meaning real-world data patterns have changed over time. Customer behavior, market conditions, and data sources evolve. Models trained on old data become stale. Monitoring catches this degradation. 4. What is the main purpose of a champion-challenger deployment strategy? To compare the current production model against a new candidate model using real TRA-FFIC. You send a small percentage of live TRA-FFIC to the challenger. If it outperforms the champion, you gradually replace the old model with the new one. 5. A stakeholder asks, why do we need monitoring? We already tested the model thoroughly. How should you respond? Testing shows how the model performed on past data, but monitoring shows how it performs right now. The past does not guarantee the future. Data changes, users change, and businesses change. Monitoring protects you from silent failures. You made it, my friend. 6 sections. 6 phases. You now understand how CPMAI turns chaotic AI projects into predictable, valuable outcomes. But reading is not enough. You need practice. You need to see hundreds of questions like these until the answers come automatically. That is exactly why I built my Udemy practice test course. 1,800 questions, full explanations, and a pass guarantee. I also sell a complete CPMAI visual summary on my Etsy store. It is a beautiful poster that shows all 6 phases, the key deliverables, and the common traps. It hangs on my wall, and it should hang on yours too. Both links are in the description box below. Go check them out right now. Now I need one final favor from you. Please leave a comment and tell me, which section helped you the most? Was it business understanding? Data preparation? Deployment? Your feedback helps me make better videos for students like you. I read every single comment, and I answer questions personally. Do not forget to subscribe. I release new practice test videos every week for PMI, Scrum, and AI certifications. You do not want to miss them. Thank you for spending this time with me. I know you are busy, and I do not take your attention for granted. Now go take that exam and show them what you know. I believe in you. I will see you in the next video. Keep learning, keep building, and never stop asking why.